Hi, my name is Destiny Thompson, and I'm doing my current events project on hate crimes. So, according to the FBI, a hate crime is a traditional offense like murder, arson, or vandalism with an added element of bias. So, to further explain, a hate crime is a criminal offense against a person or property motivated in whole or in part by an offender's bias against a race, religion, disability, sexual orientation, ethnicity, gender, or gender identity. So, a criminal can commit a crime against a person of a different race, religion, sexual orientation, anything like that, and they will justify it because they believe what they are is correct and what the victim is incorrect. And that is what a hate crime is. A few statistics on hate crimes. In 2017, there were a total of 7,175 hate crime incidents. There were 8,828 victims within those crimes. Um, and as you can see from the chart, 59.6% of those incidents were charged racially, and then religion, sexual orientation, disability, gender identity, and gender follow. So between 2011 and 2015, 54% of violent hate crimes went unreported. And 90% of hate crimes are violent compared to normal crimes that are violent being only 25%. So this number, 7,175 incidents, is only 54% of the hate crimes that were committed. Two examples of hate crimes. One is the most recent shooting in New Zealand, and then there's another that happened in 2017 against a gender fluid teen. So, the Christchurch mosque shooting in New Zealand happened on March 15th, 2019, on a Friday. 50 people died and 50 people were injured. A 28-year-old Australian-born man, Brenton Tarrant, was charged with murder. He had been planning the attack for 2 years. He chose two different mosques in the area, and on a Friday, which is the Muslim holy day, when many practicing Muslims attend worship services at the mosques, went in and he live streamed his attack where he shot multiple people, killing 50 and injuring 50 others between the two mosques. He described himself as a racist and viewed the United States President Donald Trump as a symbol of renewed white identity. He believed that white supremacy was stronger than the Muslim religion and race. So he committed a hate crime based on both race and religion. In response to this hate crime, New Zealand declared unity, saying that that crime and that hatred would not divide them. The Muslim call to prayer was broadcasted on national television and radios following a 2-minute silence. They also swiftly banned assault rifles and military-style semi-automatics almost immediately, which also then called into question the United States' reactions to all of our mass shootings where nothing really gets changed. The next story is about an Iowa teen who was kidnapped and killed. The murder of Kadari Johnson struck many in the community because he was a very bright and bubbly personality. While it initially weirded out his classmates that he would acts like a man in the traditional sense and then dress like a woman on other days, confused his classmates at first, but eventually, because of his bright personality, it was really hard to not like him. So he was very, very well liked among his classmates. And in 2017, 16-year-old Johnson was at a grocery store and began to walk home. Two male cousins, George Sanders Galvez and Jaron Perham, followed the teen. They then forced Johnson into the car and brought him back home to engage in explicit activities. After a struggle ensued, the cousins stuffed a rag down Johnson's throat and put a plastic bag around his head. The two men then took Johnson to an alley where they shot him twice in the chest, dumped his body, and then poured bleach all over it to destroy the DNA evidence. It really hit the families hard when this happened, and there was no motive behind it besides the fact that Kadary was a gender fluid teen in a typically rural area. Regarding the code of ethics, the one value of social worker code of ethics is service. The ethical principle being social workers' primary goal is to help people in need and to address social problems. Hate crimes are a very, very prominent and difficult issue that not only the United States but the entire world struggles with. And in order for social workers to help, we must help those people in need who feel like they are being hated against based on a decision, their religion, a race, whatever they decide. Another value is dignity and worth of the person. A social worker must respect the inherent dignity and worth of the person. Hate crimes are doing the complete opposite of that. And it is very important for social workers to adhere to that dignity and worth of the person in order to help and serve the clients. So I have a few discussion questions. So in response to mass shootings, do you think the United States should take note from New Zealand and strengthen gun laws? As I said, they almost immediately banned assault rifles and semi-automatic weapons. And it really brought people to question what the United States was doing. And then I have another, have you ever witnessed a hate crime or know of any that hit close to home? The reason I chose this topic to do is because my best friend is Muslim, and every year when 9/11 would come around, she and her family would get so much hate and so many dirty looks and really struggled because of the hatred that really happened in their community. And she saw a lot of crime and things that just really hurt my heart. And I don't think people think of that often. Do you, as a general rule, avoid looking up and researching massive hate crimes when they happen, or do you prefer to stay informed on the subject? I personally try to avoid these topics in the news simply because it makes me really, really upset, and I don't really know how to deal with that right now simply because I can't help in any way, really. And so it kind of upsets me. I do try to keep up, but I don't try to research deeply regarding it. And it's a really hard topic, so I didn't know what you guys thought. But yeah, thank you.